1. Yes, here we are. So we're back on the 5-1 left angle cross of separation. The left angle cross of separation is not an easy thing. When you look at what's coming next, I just want to give you a sense of the movement. When you look at what's coming next, you have the 445 coming. Oh, the 45 is ever possessive. Oh, the 45 ever consent about, don't tell me about these new experiences you want to do to raise your consciousness unless I can profit from it. Unless we can all profit from it, unless it's a good thing for the tribe, and so forth and so on, because this whole quarter is about concretizing. Every time all these crosses are learning towards the manifested, manifested, manifested. And the most two powerful ones are the 35 and the 3045. These are the most powerful ones because they are manifesting forces. The 35 with its emotional power and the 45 with its heart ego's power, they're very well that when a 35 heretic shows up, they're going to send you on a wave of a journey to find yourself. If you have a 35 heretical master, that heretical master is going to send you an experience that will take you into the depth and then raise you up or raise you up and smash you into the depth, or one or the other. The emotional pattern. And it's one of the strongest messages that the heretic has. It says the experiential way, you learn from pain, you learn from travail, the effort, all of these things. But separation, what the heretic knows is that every human being has built into the openness to a transforming experiences. And the great difficulty that the 5-1 has with consciousness people is that because if that collective quality, it seems that like they are just throwing out all these generalized experiences. But the 5-1 knows something else. It knows that the only experience worth happening is the experience that leaves you absolutely alone. The only transforming experience is what transforms you. It's your transformation. It's only for you, and you've got to live it. Go through it on your own. This is the 5-1 on the cross that says to you that God helps those who help themselves. This is another kind of process. It is saying, look, I'll take you to the water. I'm not going to drink for you. I'll tell you that all the time. I'm a classic 5-1. It says here. Here it is. But I'm not going to experiment for you. You experiment for yourself. And you can see that in the whole area of the cross of planning, the way in which the consciousness field has expanded is that there is this generalized experiential field. But at the same time, there are these heretical forces that are saying, look, don't do it with everybody else. There's something just for you. Don't trust somebody else to get into the place of consciousness of transformation. Don't depend on somebody else to get you there. Now remember, this is the 35 gate. It's a collective gate. The keynote is here too. You can't imagine now how heretical the 5-1 is. They're incredibly heretical. They're saying, yeah, you can share across the river with somebody, but it will be transforming for you. It may never be transforming for them. And if you're wanting for them to be transformed, you've never going to be transformed. This is the heretical. And this is this oddity about the 35. It's a singularity as a chemistry. This is particularity. We don't have a lot of 5-1 heretics on the cross of separation that are teaching us to be transformed. Informed means that you have to have your own experience, your own personal transforming experience. It's very difficult. When everybody else is doing something, they're all grouped into the experiences together. It's very difficult for the conditioned being to say, I don't want to share with you. I want my own experience. I want my own formula. I want to go through my own process. Then we get to the 5-2. The 5-2 is really the Buddha in the cave, trying to seduce and stay alone. It says, what are you looking for? You think you're going to be able to access to my light? It's my light, and that's that the fact that your light is only a projection. You want to see light around me, and so you see a light. So why should I give you any? Why are you already taking it? Go away. The old Zen language tricks. This is the 5-2 separation. The 5-2 separation says, I'm not interested in all of those transforming experiences that are going out. Imagine trying to invite a 5-2 to join you in a sweat lodge, this meal trip that's becoming popular. A whole bunch of flabby urbanites sweating together in one of these sweat lodges. I can't imagine anything more grotesque. Absolutely grotesque. Absolutely. What a smell. The whole thing. The hell with it. I remember the first thing I arrived in Sedona. I was invited to one of those. I said, no, not interest. Thank you very much. I don't want to be there. I'm a 5-1. I don't want to be there. I'm quite paranoid what's going to happen to all this being when they go crazy from the heat. I don't want their transforming experience. So when you're dealing with a 5-2, don't even send them an invitation. It's not like you have to worry about whether they're coming or not. Not only do they want their own transforming experience, they want a transforming experience. This is so special that maybe one day it'd be useful for someone else. One of the things that I notice about the difference between 5-1s and 5-2 is that 5-2s can always be a heretic for one person. When I say one, it could be a couple of people over their life, 3 or 4 people over their lifetime. But they always have this capacity. There's always somebody that has the chemical key that opens up the second line unconscious and manages to get in there and manages to find out, wow, really did that? I didn't know you do that. That's incredible. What was that like? Well, I transformed my consciousness. And the one thing that one person has to recognize that the 5-2 will tell, the 5-2 will say, don't you tell anybody about this, and particularly don't tell your mother. Nothing would make them more paranoid than if that story would go out. So they're very, very selective about who they're heretical for. Again, at the not self level. But if you really have a 5-2 that's self motivated and awake, this will be their magic. We don't expect them to go out there. We have suckers like me. There's 5-1s that were designed for this trip. The 5-2s are designed to be a heretical value in specialized situation, in practical situation for those right people. So when you're dealing with a 5-2 separation, if you're lucky enough to meet one like that as a kid, there's something that will take you into their magical realm, something that is not theirs, something that needs to change, something that is completely different. So this is something that is completely changing everything. And I just have some sort of screen all of a sudden here inside my thing. So yeah, anyway, I think a lot of may jump to constitutions about this term, opening up your consciousness. Teaching a child how to read is a form principle that opens up their consciousness. There's so many essential experiences in life that expand your consciousness. So I don't want you to get carried away with just my humor and the esoteric and all of that stuff. I really want to see that when you're talking about the essential experiences. Remember, the right angle cross of consciousness is only going to serve as well when it ponders when it's what's real in the world. In other words, I have to have a solid basis of experience before it can come to reasonable conclusions. So it's important that we have this 35 energy, regardless of whether it's in the right angle juxtaposed or left angle configuration. The 35 stands on its own in its chemistry, driving everything towards experience. The generalized experience. We have to transform all of our children. It's against the law not to do so. We have to teach them all how to read. These are generalization, transforming experiences that are rooted in what the right angle brings. But the left angle says, look, there are other transforming experiences. Experience that can transform your spirit. Experience that can transform your form. There are all these experiences that can be there for you separately. The abstract process is very misleading. You look at the human experiential way and you think this is the collective sharing experience. And whenever you look at the human experiential way, you always see the binary walking alone. There's always the sharing that looks like it's taking place. But every fifth line knows that it's not real. Every fifth line knows that this is the quality of the experience is always individual and separate. What's it transforming for one man being means nothing to the other. I remember one day in the early years, I visited a friend of mine. He was one of those meditation gurus, and he had stuff going on here for years. And there would be 40 or 50 people, and they'd be meditating in the backyard. After a while, you see about a third of them were asleep, and it's sort of I'm sure it was restful for them. A transforming experience is not just a collective thing, and of course, we need to keep trying to make it so. Because that's what the right angle wants. The right angle doesn't understand that this is very transpersonal karma with the fifth line, does it? That it understands that there are unique transforming experiences. What a mess the world would be in the voice visited everybody every day. Planetary fried soup for breakfast. These are certain transforming experiences are really personal. And this is the fifth line heresy. It says, yes, 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 yes. We are all equal, but some of us are different. It's nice to have that equal transforming, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's go to the 6-2.